Hello, and today I'm here with an informational book review. As a lot of you may know, I feed my cats a raw diet mostly, and I supplement with like a little bit of wet food just to make sure that they're getting all the nutrients and things that they need, because it's kind of hard to find everything that I need for a raw diet. And there are lots and lots of benefits to feeding a raw diet. I'm trying to move a little bit so you can see Nip. For one, the litter box is completely different. You'll never notice an odor with raw fed cats. I don't even know when they do number 2 because there's just no smell. And I've been looking for a book that really puts it basic terms of what you need to have in your cat's diet and how much and yada yada yada. And then I found this, so I just went ahead and picked it up because I like having reference books on how to take care of animals. So I picked it up, but then when I started reading, I realized that I bought a book that was completely about holistic cat care, which means that it's like at-home remedies and it's all natural remedies, as well as it goes into the raw food diets, and it even has like recipes for like homemade cat treats. I think there's even like some that you can make and like you bake it and it's like a dry food. So, I mean, it's a really, really interesting book. And it was like a vet was involved in the writing of this. So, it was just an amazing book. It was exactly what I've been looking for, and I've been looking up like for cat care books at like the bookstores, big chain bookstores, and I couldn't find what I wanted. Like, it was all like generalized feed a cat food type book. This explains why raw diets are so good, and it also just it turns off some of those fears that you have, because like if you're feeding a cat raw chicken, you're naturally going to worry about salmonella. But then you find out that cats and dogs naturally have salmonella in their intestines, in their intestinal tract, and that they have high stomach acids to take care of that. And whereas we are omnivores and food naturally stays in our system longer, therefore it increases the likelihood that we could get sick from bad food. Cats and dogs, where they're mostly carnivorous, the food passes through their system really, really fast. So it's not in there long enough to contaminate your animal. And your animal has naturally high acid levels in its stomach to deal with raw food. It also explains why your cat doesn't need a lot of vegetables at all. Because in the wild, they would be killing things like rabbits, mice, moles, voles, rats, little things like that. And they wouldn't ingest any kind of grains unless it was already in their prey's stomach. So, I mean, you can imagine like a mouse's stomach is probably like this big, you know? So it's not a lot. So that's about how much they need in their diet. And it explains that, you can just add something here and there. And I mean, it's a very interesting book. And it gives you precise measurements. There's home remedies in here for like eye discharge, ear mites. There's an ear wash. It also explains what you can use to keep your cat's teeth nice and clean and reduce the risk of gingivitis, which can affect cats. And I'm trying to think of like some of the big things that I read in here that was like amazing. It also has like generalized things that you need for a cat, like scratching post, water bowl, food bowl, things like that. It also talks about how you can dissuade some of these horrible problems that cat owners have, and why a lot of cats end up in shelters, like scratching up the furniture, and you don't want to declaw, because declawing is like a terrible thing. It gives you solutions for that. It also gives you solutions for like peeing outside the litter box. Why are they doing that? And things of that nature. Like it's pretty amazing what all was covered in like this almost 200-page book. So first of all, I would like whoever sees this video to comment on what they think of a raw food diet, or what some of their fears are, because I would like to discuss what my research has said about raw food diets and why you might be afraid of them. I don't know if you guys can see Nip right here. Nip is like approximately like 4-month-old cat, and I have never felt a cat like him or my other cat, because they both eat a lot of raw food. They probably have like a teaspoon of like cat food like mixed in with their raw food a day. And their coats are so glossy and soft, and they have so much energy. Like and my cat, like the big one, she's 5, and she keeps up with him, and everything has changed. Like, since they've started eating a lot of raw meat, everything has changed. So, if you would like to try a raw food diet, you can also comment, and I'll tell you some great places where I found a lot of information, as well as what was discussed in this book. Or if you have read this book and you thought it was helpful or you didn't think it was helpful, let me know. I give it a 5 out of 5 stars. And like, comment, and subscribe. And if you know another book that talks about holistic cat care or holistic dog care, please let me know. I would love to know the titles of a few of these books so that I can look them up and buy them and review them. So, see you soon. My next review is going to be on a chicken soup book that I picked up today for the Ocean Lover's Soul, appropriate for summertime. I know that I keep saying that I'm going to do One Fifth Avenue by Candace, whatever her name is, author of Sex and the City and the Carrie Diaries, but I just never get around to it because there are so many other good fantasy or informational books to read, and like, that's just like a fiction book, so it's not right up my alley. But I am going to read it. I haven't gotten to it yet. I'm being bad and I keep putting it off. But eventually we will get there. So I think I have 1, 2, 3. I have like 4 books to read, 5 to read before I read that one. And that's if I don't get more before those 5 are done. So anyway, I will see you soon, and keep reading.